Okay, dude, you ready?
I know words, I have the best words.
I'm sure there's a long history of polyamorous culture throughout history, but the first thing that pops in my mind is like the counterculture movement and the free love revolution of the 60s and the 70s. I think the free love movement was important during the time that it happened. It was a social revolution during a time when sex was suppressed. Now you fast forward today and it's like the go-to move for advertisements because they know how easily exploitable our lust is. We see it in billboards, TV, movies, billboards, whatever. We just see it everywhere. So it makes me wonder, are we meant to be polyamorous? Because I feel like humans are complicated, let's be real. We want both. We do want the loving embrace of one soul. We like the idea of the soulmate, that there being a puzzle piece that is just perfectly arranged for our puzzle piece. But we also like the idea of just sleeping with all of the attractive people that exist out there. But it kind of makes me wonder, is it conditioned that we want to sleep with multiple people because of things like the way it's forced on us? Because it's, you know, it's an exploitable, profitable, primal urge, lust is, you know. Advertisers can put boobs in front of our face and we will buy their product for it. So if we have a culture that revolves around this sort of stimuli and it revolves around this sort of ideology where sex is normalized and women are objectified, and I think we will have more tendencies to want to explore that side of ourselves, that sexual side of ourselves. We will be more likely to kind of drift away from the idea of being with one person. Or is it completely natural? Is it sort of a biological imperative that helps keep the species alive? We feel this way. We want to sleep with multiple people because that's how we survive, baby. That's how we keep the human beings alive. That's how we keep this thing going. It's real interesting, and this is kind of my experience I've had with being with one person and being with multiple people. So I think about all the times that I've been open sexually and kind of explored that. I've had a lot of amazing times under those circumstances, and I think that it was the answer for me at one point. I've had a couple of relationships, mostly when I was younger, that were no strings attached kind of sexually, but we were emotionally all for each other. But then I think that the body always wants more. It can never be satisfied. It can never be filled. That thirst can never be quenched. So if we're always just chasing this desire of our body, how can we ever be happy? It's like an endless pursuit. And I'm sure there's way more to polygamy than sex, and I know that's all I'm focusing on, but that's like just my only context to this. I'm sure there's tons of relationships that have worked out this way, and I'm interested in figuring out how do you do that? How do you subside your ego from being hurt enough to let your partner just explore their sexuality? That's a deep spiritual practice that you're doing there, brother. How do you do that? Because it's so hard, isn't it, to not objectify somebody, to not feel like, oh, that person is mine, I found my person. Because it's so it's so hurtful when we are confronted with the reality that people are going to do what they're going to do. Everyone's at the center of their own universe, and sometimes the needs of you don't include somebody else, and that may hurt their feelings. And that's a hard thing for us to accept sometimes when we're that person that is you know, being hurt. I have this tattoo right here. This is Joni, and it's for Joni Mitchell. And Joni Mitchell, she once said something that I really like that reminds me of this. She said, if you want endless repetition, see many people. But if you want infinite variety, stay with one. It sounds nice from like a lustful perspective, doesn't it? Like, ooh, you know. But I think ultimately I just want to share myself with one person. I want to like it just seems too overcomplicated and too oversaturated to try to like share yourself with multiple people, emotionally at least. Maybe sexually, I mean, I guess that's what it's about, right? Sharing yourself sexually. It just seems exhausting. Maybe once in a while it could be alright. Like if honestly, I'm being completely honest, if my wife that I'm gonna be, if I find the person that I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life, and I know like this is it, this is the person I'm gonna be with, I'll give her a free pass. I think that's totally healthy in a relationship. Like, if we're somewhere, as long as it doesn't become a habit or like a reoccurring thing, I'm comfortable with the idea of releasing my ego enough to allow my significant other to explore that if she needs to. It hurts me a little bit to think about it, but honestly, I think I would be okay with it if we could sit down and talk about it honestly and openly. It's funny that we've like managed to be in this weird limbo where we've created emotions about sex while paradoxically we feel the need to want to sleep with multiple people. It's like our emotions go against our evolutionary drives. I don't know, I think it is possible to love multiple people and to have a connection with multiple people. I don't think there is any right or wrong answer here. But love is like water. It just takes shape in whatever you put it in. What do you guys think? Would you be open to allowing your partner to explore themselves like this? Or do you think it's an evolutionary thing or a conditioned thing? Are we supposed to see multiple people? Are we supposed to be with one person? I'm so confused about life. Leave me a comment, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to click subscribe, and I don't know, enjoy your life wherever you are. Boing.